It's a very unique style. I would have to give Dmitry Bivol the advantage here a little bit because he has better footwork, you know. Beterbiev kind of like just stalks you down, you know, and with Bivol, he's just like constantly bam, bam, bam.
Anticipation is building ahead of Saturday's titanic fight between Artur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol in Riyadh. The winner will become the first undisputed light heavyweight champion for a quarter of a century.
Undisputed fight for 4 belts, to the best light heavyweight with 2 different completely styles.
And Eddie Hearn told TNT Sports that it is the best fight in boxing. He also described the fighters as 2 machines after their refusal to engage in pre-fight trash talk.
Есть такие качества, да, хорошие, как сила, да, то есть у него есть выносливость, у него есть такая чуйка, если он попадает, он сразу вгрызается в соперника и не отпускает. Хорошо бьет в корпус.
Eddie Hearn says it doesn't get any bigger than Saturday's blockbuster unified title bout between Dmitry Bivol and Artur Beterbiev, describing it as the best fight in boxing.
For me, the best fight in boxing. I think, you know, this one you don't have to sell to fight fans. They know. You know, the educated fight fans, the casual fight fans, it doesn't really matter.
The 2 undefeated Russians will put their belts and reputations on the line in Riyadh, live on TNT Sports box office, with the winner set to become the first undisputed light heavyweight world champion for 25 years. Bivol, 23-0, holds the WBA belt, while Beterbiev, 20-0, is the WBC, IBF, and WBO champion and boasts a 100% knockout rate in his professional career.
What means more to you, a win over Beterbiev or beating Canelo?
Of course, it's not about personality, it's about belts.
It promises to be a fight for the ages, and Hearn sat down with TNT Sports to explain what makes the night so special. For me, it's the best fight in boxing, said Hearn. This one you don't have to sell to fight fans. They know. The educated fight fans, the casual fight fans, it doesn't really matter.
The wider world need to know just how great this fight is. 2 undefeated world champions, every belt in boxing on the line. The glory, the ownership of the light heavyweight division, it doesn't get any bigger.
The wider world needs to know just how great this fight is. 2 undefeated world champions, every belt in boxing on the line, the glory, the ownership of the light heavyweight division. It doesn't get any bigger. Fight fans might be impatiently awaiting the action in the ring, as they have been offered little in the way of pre-fight animosity between the pair. Both boxers have shown little to no interest in engaging in a war of words, with Bivol telling TNT Sports that the fight is just business, and Beterbiev saying, "I've never done trash talk in my career and don't want to start now."
I think he knows his best things and his weakness things, you know.
He knows them.
I think he knows.
You know them, but you won't tell me.
I don't know, I won't tell you.
You've got 2 machines, some might say robots, Hearn said of the lack of pre-fight beef between the pair. I've known Dmitry and represented him for many, many years. He's a man of few words. He's a good character and quite amusing, but all business. Beterbiev is super cold. As he's got older, he's talked less. Look at the last press conference. Imagine flying a guy over with about 8 members of his team, spending about 50 bags, 50,000 pounds.
Yeah, I think that it's kind of like, you got 2 machines, haven't you? You know, some might say robots, but you know, I've known Dmitry and represented him for many, many years. He's a man of few words. Actually, good character, quite amusing, but all business.
Then he rocks up to the table and you say, Artur, tell us what is going to happen in Riyadh. Nothing to say. Thanks very much, mate. Here's what Oscar de la Hoya has to say about the potential matchup between Dmitry Bivol and Artur Beterbiev. It's a very unique style matchup. I would have to give Dmitry Bivol the advantage here, even if just a little, because he has better footwork. Beterbiev is more of a stalker. He just comes forward, constantly applying pressure. But with Bivol, he's always moving. He's a good boxer with power. And more importantly, he's got skill and intelligence in the ring.
It's a very unique style. I would have to give Dmitry Bivol the advantage here a little bit because he has better footwork, you know. Beterbiev kind of like just stalks you down, you know, and with Bivol, he's just like constantly bam, bam, bam.
Beterbiev is a powerhouse with relentless aggression, and that kind of pressure is hard to deal with. But I'm going to lean toward Bivol. I think the fight will come down to respect in the early rounds, how Bivol handles Beterbiev's power, and whether his chin holds up against those heavy punches.
I love that. He's a good boxer, man, with power. And he's got skill up here. It's a tough fight to call. But I'm gonna have to give Dmitry the advantage. I think it's all about respect in the first few rounds, you know.
I have a feeling Beterbiev might have a stronger chin than Bivol, but that remains to be seen. If Bivol can use his footwork effectively, catch Beterbiev, and keep him off balance, then it could be a long...
How he's gonna take his punch if he has a chin? I mean, I think Beterbiev has a better chin than Dmitry's Bivol. For some reason, I just feel that. I don't know if it's true, but if Dmitry's Bivol can catch him, offset him, get him off balance with his footwork, I mean, yeah, it could be a long night for Beterbiev.
Jones Jr. believes we're in for an entertaining evening, but thinks one fighter has a slim advantage over the other. He said, "That's a very, very good fight, and I have a hard time predicting it. I've heard that the guys have sparred a few times, and one of them may have gotten the better of the other, but I don't know. In theory, if I didn't know that they had sparred before, I would pick Bivol."
In my humble opinion, if you've been down 2 or 3 times already, being the puncher that you are, I mean, either when you're punching, you leave yourself in a bad position and people are catching you, or you don't take as good a punch as you throw. Both would be a mistake fighting Bivol because he stays fundamentally sound with his feet and he stays fundamentally sound with his hands.
So that being said, Beterbiev is a good puncher, but I don't know if he takes a good punch because he's been down 3 or 4 times in nearly 20 fights. If you've been down that much in 20 fights, there's a problem there. I really think Bivol has the advantage, and I'll go with him.
Beterbiev is a hell of a guy and a hell of a fighter, and has an awesome power, but he also has been down. So it's like when I look at that, I always look at stuff from where I used to see things standpoint. And the way I saw it, if somebody else knocked you down, I got to get you down.
Benavidez believes Bivol's technical prowess might just give him the upper hand in the undisputed championship fight set for October 12th in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. In an interview, Benavidez stated, "I think Bivol has a slight edge, but it's a 50-50 fight. This closely contested match has boxing fans on the edge of their seats. Given that Beterbiev, 20 KOs, is coming off surgery for a ruptured meniscus."
They both have to be extremely ready. This is a hard fight for both of them. I'm kind of leaning again with Bivol. Bivol is a great boxer and he has punching power. And then Beterbiev, I think he's a little bit older. You know, I think his body's breaking down a little bit. He works really hard.
The 39-year-old power puncher, known for his aggressive style, may be at a disadvantage against Bivol's technical skill, especially with concerns about his knee recovery. On the other hand, Bivol, 12 KOs, 6 years younger, brings precision and speed to the ring, potentially exploiting any vulnerabilities Beterbiev may show.
In boxing, when you do too much weight like that, that's when you start to break down more. So I'm leaning a little bit more towards Bivol.
Caleb Plant, a former IBF super middleweight champion, was asked to share his thoughts on a potential fight between Dmitry Bivol and Artur Beterbiev, 2 of the most formidable light heavyweight boxers in the world. Plant, known for his boxing IQ and technical skills, gave a respectful and insightful breakdown of the matchup, highlighting the strengths of both fighters.
The best man win. Yeah, I'll just be tuned in as a fan, hoping that it's a good fight, hoping that everybody, walks out there in one piece and, the fans win. So we'll see.
Here's what he had to say. "May the best man win. Yeah, I'll just be tuned in as a fan, hoping it's a good fight. Hoping that everybody walks out of there in one piece and, the fans win. So we'll see. I think he's an underrated boxer as well. He's got a good jab and, he doesn't telegraph his punches. He knows about positioning in the ring. He's good at almost drawing a fighter to him and then he'll turn them and put them on the ropes. A little less bouncy than Bivol, but still light on his feet, quick hands. It's a good fight. A great fight.
I think he's an underrated boxer as well. He's got a good jab. And, he doesn't telegraph his punches. He knows about positioning in the ring. He's good at almost like drawing a fighter to him, and then he'll turn him and put them on the ropes.
I mean, I can't say for sure. He's not the bigger guy, but at the same time, he's just in the weight class, so who knows if that means anything. I don't put anything past him, though. He's a real good fighter, a great fighter, so it'll be interesting for sure. I'm sure people will tune in.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say for sure. You know, he's naturally a bigger boy, but at the same time, you know, he just got the weight class, so who knows if there needs to be any time. You know, I don't put nothing past him, though. You know, he's a real good fighter, so he's a great fighter. So it'd be interesting for sure. I'm sure people tune in.
Shakur Stevenson points out key factor. That will decide the last man in Dmitry Bivol versus Artur Beterbiev. Whoever establishes their jab in the Bivol-Beterbiev fight is going to win the fight. That's what I think. The jab is key because both of these guys are so skilled in their own right. Bivol is more of a slick technical boxer, and his jab sets up everything for him. It's how he controls distance, breaks down his opponents, and keeps them from getting too comfortable. If he can keep Beterbiev on the end of his jab, he can avoid the big power shots and frustrate him.
Do you have a message for Dmitry Bivol now that he's here?
He know already.
Dmitry, Artur Beterbiev says that you know already. What is it that you know?
I don't know already. We know. I tell you, no. For sure.
On the other hand, Beterbiev's jab is different. He's more of a pressure fighter, but his jab is powerful, almost like a setup for his devastating combinations. When he lands his jab, he's not just scoring points, he's setting you up for something heavier. And if Bivol lets Beterbiev get that rhythm going, it could be a long night for him. I think it all comes down to who can control that aspect of the fight. If Bivol can maintain his range and pace with the jab, he can box his way to a win. But if Beterbiev can close the distance and land his jab with authority, it could lead to him overwhelming Bivol with his power. It's going to be a chess match, but the jab will decide everything. Atlas, the former trainer of Mike Tyson, has long been one of boxing's most respected voices, and although it's Beterbiev who has all the power, Atlas believes it will be Bivol who claims the stoppage.
Well, Beterbiev's style, his approach, his way of attacking somebody, it takes time, it takes rounds, and it shows up. He evaporates people. His part of his thing, it's not just a jab, he's much better than he gets credit for.
He's slowing down. He's cutting up easier. He's 38 years old with 300 amateur fights. A lot of tough fights in the pros. He's aging. Nobody beats Father Time, said Atlas when speaking on his The Fight podcast. I never will rule out Beterbiev. He's got power, he's got character and pride, but yeah, I got Bivol a solid favorite. I think there's a good chance he stops him late in the fight, either by cuts or by just an endless barrage of punches. But Beterbiev is not a defensive wizard, where the referee would probably have to stop it, or his corner would have to stop it.
I think there's a couple of ways that he can approach this fight. One of them is come out the gates like Secretariat, straight out, flat out at him, swinging big hooks. And that will surprise Beterbiev. That will surprise him. And maybe he gets lucky, but if he comes out, starts boxing and all that, he just prolongs the beating, in my opinion. Go for it. Get him knocked out.
While Beterbiev just doesn't believe in predicting fights, Bivol has spoken out about how excited he is to see what game plan his opponent will come up with on Saturday night. So, with two Titans and future boxing Hall of Famers taking each other on with everything on the line, this fight is lining up to be a proper classic. Hopefully, it can be a better show than some of the fights the boxing community has had to endure this year.
Canelo Alvarez basically just got referred to as a side quest. When asked about fighting Canelo, Beterbiev was direct to the point and said nope, he is not interested in fighting Canelo Alvarez. As for Beterbiev's opponent, Dmitry Bivol said that he believes this event will be the most crucial fight for him yet, suggesting that he sees the Beterbiev fight as something bigger than that of Canelo Alvarez.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. If you enjoyed the content, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to stay updated on all the latest boxing news, fight breakdowns, and analysis. Drop a comment below and let me know what you think about today's topic and who you're picking to win the next big fight. Make sure to turn on those notifications so you never miss an upload. Until next time, stay sharp, stay focused, and keep your guard up. Peace out.